All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, now we'll talk about BTC. We'll talk about BTC on the macro view all the way down to the 6 hour time frame and all that good stuff. We will take a look at the volume on you know on Coinbase, because the volume on Coinbase is kind of tricky. It is calling for a high volatility over the next like a 24 to 48 hours, basically till the weekly candle close and all that good stuff. Okay. So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the Discord premium or public group, link in the description and all that good stuff. So now let me see who's in the chat room. Hey, what's up, Jason, Mr. 10K Bear? Uh, Good luck waiting for 10K. Okay, John Doe in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis. We're gonna start with the quarterly time frame, right? Because it is always good to know where we at, regarding the quarterly time frame. That way, you know, we can stay on track, over the next like a few months and all that good stuff. If we're looking for higher prices or if we're looking for lower prices, right? So the quarterly time frame, pretty easy analysis regarding the quarterly. The quarterly time frame, what we said was like, as long as we can stay above the 30K area, right? BTC could be in this range of 30K to a 65K over the next like a few quarters and all that good stuff, right? And in order to basically flip bullish, we got to close above 57 on the quarterly basis, right? So as long as we, above 30K, we're good, right? But if we break out above, let's say if we break out above the 57K on a quarterly basis, basically we could be looking for a moonshot over the next like a few quarters or even like years. Okay. So now let's go ahead and dive into the monthly basis. Before we talk about the monthly basis, remember the quarterly, it is still bearish. Okay. So even though we got a 10% pump or even 20% pump from the 33K area, right? 33 all the way up to 40.5, right? Right there, nearly 25% pump. So that's pretty big. Okay. So if you've been waiting for lower prices, bang, you might be forced to buy it higher and all that good stuff, right? So but if you've been following the channel, you at least did not buy above like 60K, 65, 69 and all that good stuff. Okay. You most likely been buying at the monthly 21 EMA. So next topic going to be the monthly 21 EMA. So if you guys recall, our strategy regarding the monthly 21 EMA when BTC was right around like 55. Okay, we talked about it back in December, the first week of December, guys. We said the 3D time frame, it is bear. If we open and close a candle on the 3D basis, right, below the 3D time, below the 3D 21 EMA, we're going to be looking for our monthly 21 EMA. And that time BTC was right around like 55 to 57, and the monthly 21 EMA was right around like 35 37K area, give or take, right? So if we take a look at it on a monthly basis, okay, I know it took like nearly 45 days to retest the monthly 21 EMA after we talk about the monthly 21, but spot on. Okay, the most important thing is like the directional move. We killed it. Okay, we said we got a pretty good chance, a very good probability to retest our monthly 21, and we did exactly. So we're still above the monthly 21, guys. I told you if we retest the monthly 21, it could take forever to break out below the monthly 21. These are not micro analysis. These are macro analysis. I'm a macro guy, so most of the time I'll be giving you guys some macro targets, not like 10%, 5% targets. From 55 all the way down to a 35K, guys. That's, you take a look at it, that's 40% dump. Okay. You got the call back in December and we put dump all the way down to the monthly 21. So I don't expect like BTC to break out below the monthly 21 that easy, right? Even if we can dump, even if we will break out below it, it is not going to be an easy task, meaning like we're just going to crush the monthly 21. Okay. So if you take a look at it right here, back in back in 2018, right? June 2018 all the way up to October, November, guys, took like over 5 months to break out below the monthly 21. You take a look at it right here, the October 40% pump, October 2019, right there, we nearly retested the monthly 21 pump, like what, 40%, guys. So it took us another basically 4 or 5 months to a breakout below the monthly 21. So I'm not saying we will be breaking out below the monthly 21 and it will take 4 to 5 months. But all I'm saying is it could take a while. Just like what we said last year after the first quarterly bearish cycle, first quarterly bullish cycle right here. After we dump down to the quarterly 21 EMA, not quarterly 21 EMA, but after we dump back down right here to the quarterly open, right? What I said was like it could take years, guys, to break out below 30K. So let's just buy the dip at the 30K support on a macro view, and we will be looking for at least a move back up to 50% to 0.618. These are macro calls, guys, not like you buy at 30K and you wake up the next day and looking for 60K. You see what I'm saying? So you just got to be very, very patient with these macro calls and all that good stuff, right? So going back to the monthly 21, so we're looking good, above the monthly 21 right now. The monthly 21, it is at 37K, so looking pretty good. Could we close below it? Yes, we can close below, but the problem is even if we dump below the monthly 21, we still got our 30K support. So one thing we do not want to do is like closing below the monthly 21, opening and closing below it. So but since like we're above it right now, let's just see if bulls can basically take out our last month high right there, actually open right around like 46K. So 46K going to be the monthly resistance, okay? And on the downside, 33 to 35, it is still going to be what, the monthly support. Even though the monthly 21 EMA is right around 37, you got to remember we got our weekly 100 EMA at 35. Remember, we talked about the weekly 100 EMA. We've been talking about it like ever since we broke out below the weekly 21 right there. We said if we dump, we got our weekly 100 EMA. So the weekly 100 EMA support going to coincide with the monthly support, right? So we got a pretty good support area to keep an eye on. We're not saying it cannot break out below it, but all we're saying is we're most likely going to get what, a strong bounce, right? Whenever we retest what, the weekly 100 EMA / monthly 200 EMA. Okay, so BTC is looking good in the short to medium term. We will take a look at the daily, a beautiful daily setup and all that good stuff, right? So just to recap, monthly resistance going to be 46, right? Monthly support, it is still going to be 33 to 35K, okay? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 3 weeks basis. So when we take a look at BTC on a 3 weeks basis, even though we got a high resistance, right, all the way up to 46, if we take a look at the 3 weeks time frame, our 3 weeks 21 EMA, it is at 42.2. So 42.2 going to give us a tough time till we close the 3 weeks time frame. It is going to close on right there. We open on the 22nd, right here. So on right around like the 11-12, okay, we're going to get a new candle on the 12. So in like, let's say 8 days next week. So are we going to close above the 21 EMA on a 3 weeks basis? Possibly we could close above it, but it is going to be a resistance, right, within the next like a few days and so on. So 42 all the way up to a 46K area could be a very high volatility range if price action basically managed to break out to that level, okay? So once again, 21 EMA on our 3 weeks basis, right? It is at 42.2, was our support right here, okay? We used it as support back in May, June, July, right? The bottoming before the pump all the way up to 69. And we used it as a support right here, just about like a 42. Right now, it is at the same exact price level, 42.2. So 42.2 going to be the first primary support, first primary resistance, right? Before the monthly resistance up to 46 and all that good stuff, right? So the 3 weeks, the 3 weeks support going to be right here, going into March and all that good stuff, right? Before April, we will be looking for the 30.5, okay, which is going to be the 50 EMA on our 3 weeks basis, okay. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a weekly basis. Weekly basis, it is still looking good, guys. As we said, even if we dump down to our weekly 100 EMA, guys, bulls most likely going to be reaccumulating right here. Okay, we talk about it, back in December 2019, right here. As you can see, beautiful support right there. Okay, if we take a look at it on, let's take a look at it on Coinbase, right? Beautiful support also. Let's take a look at it on Binance. If you take a look at it on Binance, we got the support back in September 2019. That's where we got our 40% pump. But if you take a look at it on Bitstamp, right, we got our support right there, right around like 7K. So, and I gave you guys some pretty good analysis regarding these supports, ahead of time before even like we hit our weekly 100 EMA. Okay, remember BTC was above like a 50K, 52. We were calling for 35, 37. All right, we weren't calling for like 42 and all that good. So we said take profit at 42, right? If you sold at 52, start buying back 42. Don't short BTC below 40K. You got to basically anticipate the dump before we break out below 40K, because below 40K going to be what, a high volatility range, and you don't want to be panicking every night, waking up looking at your phone and all that good stuff to check if you got wrecked or not, right? So make sure to hit the likes, guys. Make sure to hit the likes. Join the public Telegram group, link in the description and all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter also, right? So send crypto 0. Hey, what's up, Bible? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Pablo, crypto in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Kashaki, Enter Milan, Canada in the house. Quiet Cook, thanks a lot, man. David, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. So now we know the weekly support, right? Weekly 100 EMA, 35 to 35 to actually 35.8 to be exact, right? Okay, 35K. But the most important time frame, guys, even though we pay attention to what our weekly support, right, monthly support and all that good stuff, we tend to get our directional move by using what? If you've been using this channel long enough, you know the 3D time frame. We said it multiple times, okay? Even though we respect our weekly support, weekly resistance, monthly support, monthly resistance, and all that good stuff, we got to get the direction right as soon as possible. If you recall right here, back in July, guys, we got in when right there, started opening long position right here, right around like 33K, guys. Why? Because we said we got a bullish reversal, our MACD cross bullish right there on our 3D basis. So the very first 3D reversal candle, that's when we turned flip bullish. Okay, yes, we were bullish at 30K buying the dips, but not going long. You see what I'm saying? It is different to buy the dips and go long. You see what I'm saying? You can buy the dips and accumulate BTC, and once we get the reversal, you can go long. You see what I'm saying? So exactly that's what we did right here. Buy the dip at 30K, buy the dip at 30K. That's what we've been saying, okay? After we got the 3D reversal right here, what we said, let's take it to the upside, okay? We could at least retest 50% to 0.618. So if you take a look at it right now, based on our 3D basis, right? We did spot the directional trend, right? Meaning down after we broke out below our 3D 21 EMA. When candle open and close below it, right, on the 3D, what we said, it's time to pack our bags. It's not time to panic, but just pack your bags, because you're going to be buying it much cheaper, right, till we get another 3D bullish reversal. If we take a look at your MACD right here, it was already negative. Price action below the 21 EMA. Very easy strategy. You don't have to do anything else after that. Okay, you don't have to do anything else after that. All you be looking for after that will be what? Support on your macro weekly and monthly, because you got the direction. The hardest thing to catch in this market is like the direction. Some people want to buy and sell, but they just don't know when to buy and sell. They just want to buy when market is green, and they want to sell when market is red, and that's the best way to get wrecked. Okay, buy when market is green and sell when market is red. That's basically your enemy number one. Okay, just write it on the wall. Okay, I got it on my wall. Don't buy red. Okay, I mean don't buy green. Don't buy green and don't sell red. Okay, and that way you're always going to follow the directional the directional move. So now we know our MACD, it is still not looking that great, right? It is getting closer. It could flip bullish at any given time, right, within the next like a few days and so on. So we will monitor the 3D time frame within the next like a couple of days, especially when the 3 weeks time frame will close in like 7 days and all that good stuff. We will see how the 3 weeks time frame closing, right, if the 3 weeks time frame closing will coincide with a 3D MACD flipping bullish. Remember, you know the 50-day cycle, we haven't been talking about the 50-day cycle for a very long time, right? But remember, the 50-day cycle, we will get a new cycle on the 19th, okay, of February. So something to keep in mind, between the 12th and the 19th of February, it is going to be quite important. Okay, we talked about it last year. If you guys remember, why that's why I was so bullish on BTC last year. I was like, okay, I'm going to be bullish the entire 50-day cycle of the first year, meaning like from January 1st till basically till basically February 19th. Okay, we got a new cycle back in February 20th, right? So going back to the 3D, the only thing we can say on a 3D basis is like we still need time to regain control of our 3D 21 EMA right here within the next like a few days. Okay, right now it is at 43.6. Okay, so we got to get control of our 3D 21 EMA, and we got to flip bullish right here. Okay, within the next like a few days and so on. So now the 2D time frame, okay, just flipped, okay, bullish, okay, bullish, okay. So if we take a look at the 2D basis, it is giving us a heads up, right? It is time to be cautious and not be extremely bearish. Okay, we talk about it multiple times on a daily basis. Whenever the daily time frame flipped bullish right here, what I said, it is not time to go to the moon. Right here, I told you it is not time to go to the moon. Right there, I told you it is not time to go to the moon. Okay. However, after we got our recent bullish crossover right there, what I told you, I like it. I told you I like it. Okay. I told you it is time to pay attention to it, not be extremely bearish, right? Because we got a clean divergence we could we can rely on for the next like a few days and so on, right? Price action is above the 21 EMA, but if we go back to the 2D basis, we're still below our 21 EMA. Okay, even though we got a bullish crossover right here, it is not signaling yet a reversal. It is a good bullish crossover, but it could be, the starting of something big. Okay, what I mean by that, okay, I mean, if you take a look at it right here, back in May, all right, remember, after we crossed bullish right here, I wasn't bullish. Okay, remember, we said get out at 41. Even though we got a bullish crossover back in June, if you go back to my premium group, right, we long it right there, right around like 31, 31.2, 31.3, all the way up to a 41K, 25% pump. Okay, we took this move right nearly over 25%, and we said what, get out, even though MACD right here was bullish, right? So we waited again for price action to retest the bottom at 30K, right? 30K to 29.5. We said accumulate right here. Okay, it pumped back up. We said don't worry, don't chase it. Okay, just wait again. Okay, it retested the 305, bang, we took it to the upside after that. So we could get something similar over the next like a few days, where the 2D MACD has to basically stay positive, and price action could do something like that. Do you see what I'm saying? So we can still retest these lows. So we're not out of the woods yet. All right, because we're still below our 2D 21. Remember, if we go back to the weekly basis, right, we still got our weekly support. Even if we dump, it doesn't matter, right? We still got our weekly support. We still got our monthly support, right? So even closing below the monthly 21, it won't be a big deal. You see what I'm saying? As long as we do not open and close below the monthly 21, we should be okay. Okay, so we know BTC is looking to bottom, but we're not just sure yet if you know the 33K area was the absolute bottom, and we want breakout below it. You see what I'm saying? Because if you take a look at it right here, we knew 30K was a bottom, but we still retested what 28.9 and 28 to 29K. It was just some flash retest before the pump. So the only question we trying to figure out right now is like, is it done? Okay, are we just going to the moon, or are we just going to be moving sideways, something like that, before going to the moon? Right? But it looks good. Monthly looks good. Weekly looks good. 2D MACD, it is starting to look good, right? You take a look at your daily, looking very juicy, right? I'm liking it right now. Remember, guys, I just said it. When all of you guys were looking for like a push to the upside right here, I told you don't get in. Don't buy the top right here, because we were shorting, okay, at 52, and we were looking for 35 to 37, even with a bullish MACD, okay, on our daily basis. But I like this one. Okay, I like this one. So it is going to be very, very tricky, because MACD can still push to the upside even on the daily basis, right? Just like what I said, like that, and price action can still do something like that. Okay, so it is not time to be greedy, but it is time to be very, very patient with the market, and stay with the higher time frame. Okay, we're still above our 21 EMA on a monthly basis. We're still above our 100 EMA on a weekly basis, so we're still looking good. Okay, we just need to get our 3D MACD right now to a flip bullish in order to get the directional move to the upside. Okay, remember, a directional move means market moving in one direction. Okay, like what we said right here, directional move down. All you're doing is just shorting, selling, selling, selling. Okay, once we get our MACD to flip bullish right here, we know how to play it. We know how to play it. We did it last year, actually a couple of years ago, back in 2020, right there, after we flip bullish on our 3D MACD, price action above the 21 EMA. What we said, just buy at the 6-hour 21 EMA. Whenever we dip, we're not going to be breaking out below our 6-hour 21. The worst case scenario would be like 6-hour 100 EMA. Okay, so we got those, we got those strategies. So we just have to basically wait for the market to give us the directional move. Okay, to give us the directional move and all that good stuff. All right, so now let's take a look at BTC on Coinbase. Okay, so now if we take a look at BTC on Coinbase, right, it is quite tricky, but market is ready for some high volatility. And why market is ready for some high volatility? If you take a look at the volume right here, 82,000. Okay, it is not dollar, but it is BTC, 82,000 trading volume. Okay, volume on Coinbase, right? If you take a look at the last week, if I put my mouse right here, just take a look at right there. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but last week volume was like 157,000 BTC. Okay, let's say 160. So the half of 160 is what? 80,000, right? Think about it, okay? And we got how many days to close our weekly candle? We got what? 2 days, okay? It is Friday. So we got Saturday and Sunday to close our weekly candle. So we got 2 days, okay? We got 2 days, right? To pump the volume, right? To match the previous volume pick. You see what I'm saying? So right now we only got 80,000 in 5 days. Now we got to pump the volume for another 80,000 in 2 days. So that's going to require a high volatility, okay? Within the next like a couple of hours, or even like I wouldn't say a couple of hours, but a couple of days. So keep an eye on BTC within the next like a few hours with some high volatility till we basically match our previous volume right here. Okay, so if the volume closes like below like 100,000 BTC, not 100,000 USD, but number of BTC, okay, the total net volume. If it closes below 100,000 BTC, that's going to be really bad for the bulls. Okay, that's going to be really, really bad for the bulls, because bears going to be like, oops, we pumped with a low volume. Okay, so something going to be missing. Okay, it is going to be what? some selling pressure, meaning like bears going to be showing up after that. So I'm expecting high volatility within the next like a 48 hours till we close the weekly cycle. All right. So if you're bullish, it's all yours. Okay. If you're bearish, just be cautious because, the volume could be some buying pressure, right? It could also be some selling pressure. But if it is some selling pressure, it means that we will most likely close below our weekly open. Okay. Because remember, we already got 80,000 net volume and we need another 80,000 net volume. Okay. On Coinbase. So if that net volume, it is, pushes the price below the weekly open, the candle will close red. Okay. So either way, just be cautious, right? And play it however you like it. If you're bullish, it's all yours. If you're bearish, you know what to do. Okay. Just be cautious, right? Hey, what's up, Hank? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Okay, MACD flip bullish and all that good stuff. Yeah, man, the 2D MACD, it is bullish. So, and it could just be setting us up for the quarterly close for April and all that good stuff, right? So remember, we're looking at the macro view, not like BTC pumping 10% and 5%. We're looking for like, how can we break out like next quarter? That's what we're trying to figure out. Okay, so that's why we've been bullish at 30K. I mean 30K at 35, right? Right around the monthly 21 and weekly 100 EMA. We talked about it, guys, 2 months ago. Okay, 2 months ago. That's why, when people were looking for 30K, I was like, we're not going to break out below our monthly 21 EMA like that. Okay, and I'll give you guys multiple live stream talking about the weekly 100 EMA. So make sure to join our Telegram group, or you can join our Discord public group and all that good stuff. And basically, so you can get these macro announcements and all that good stuff. So let me take a look at your questions, right? David is saying, will it have another? Will we dump more, right? When the 21 EMA, crosses the 100 EMA on the 3D. So let's take a look at the 3D time frame, because we will need to talk about BTC on the 6 hour. Okay, we already talked about the daily, but let's go back to the 3D. So the 3D time frame, we already crossed our 100 EMA right here. Okay, so but it doesn't necessarily mean like it is bearish. Okay, we've been bearish right here. We weren't waiting for the 21 EMA to cross the remember 21 and 100, it is like the ratio is 5. Okay, you almost 5. Okay, so it takes time for the 21 EMA to cross like the 100 EMA. So I don't want to be waiting for the 21 EMA to cross like the 100 EMA for a all the time for a directional move. Okay, that's why whenever we get these three moving averages on the lower time frame, right, like 6 hour, to flip bullish, I tend to say what it is time to go to the moon. Okay, because if they cross to the upside, it is a very strong signal. Okay, but if they cross to the downside, it is pretty much a negative momentum. But it doesn't mean like we won't be flipping bullish. Okay. Okay. Yes. I mean, I see what you're saying right here. I said it multiple times, right? Whenever you get your 21 EMA, right, getting rejected by your 100 EMA, it is a very strong. It is a very strong. It tends to give you a strong repulsion. Okay, meaning like price action could be pushing much higher. Okay, even on the lower degree. If you take a look at it on the 6 hour basis, not just on the 3D basis, right? If you take a look at it right here on the 3D base, on the 6 hour basis, the inverse of what we had on the on the 3D right here, whenever you get this type of rejection, you tend to get a high volatility to that direction. Okay, right here we got it on the 6 hour to the downside. if you take a look at it on the 3D basis, right, we got it right here, right there, right around like 33, 35. And what happened? We sucker pump all the way up to nearly 52K. Okay, so it is always good to notice your 200 EMA getting rejected by your 100 EMA. Okay, on either direction, it doesn't matter. So if you're bullish and you see a big rejection, right, and your 21 EMA making a U-turn, you just suck it up. Okay, you know the trend going to, regardless of your MACD and all that good stuff. Okay, but it is going to be an extra confirmation because you're already going to be bullish right here, right? So let's take a look at, hey, what's up, IML? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Gomo in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. KK in the house. Right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the 6-hour time frame. Okay. So the 6-hour time frame, we just got a nice volume right here. Okay. A big breakout. So you could look at it as a flat correction. Okay, very impulsive one too, and this could be an impulsive wave, but let's see, we got a good volume right here. That's what I just tried to say. On Coinbase, right, the volume right here was nearly 10,000. Okay, we got 10,000 volume, which is like nearly what, 10% of the weekly volume already. More than 10% of the weekly volume in this 6-hour candle. Remember, on the weekly basis on Coinbase, the total volume on the weekly since like Sunday, okay, Monday, whatever you want to call it, right, it is 80,000. And if you take a look at the 6-hour candle, we got over 11,000 trading volume right here. So basically, more than 10%, right? I would say even 12% of the weekly volume, we got it on a single 6-hour candle right here. That's why it is so important. And remember, we need what? Another 80,000 volume before the weekly close to match our previous weekly candle, total net volume, right? So it is going to be quite volatile. And, but let's see, okay? Let's see if we're going to stay above the 100 EMA. This time we could not basically close. I mean, we're above the 100 EMA on our 6-hour, but still getting a slight rejection from the 8-hour 100 EMA. So that's going to be our rejection right here on the 6-hour to 8-hour time frame, right? 40K to 41K area, right? Within the next like a few days and so on. And remember, guys, 40975, we've been talking about 40975 even when BTC was dumping. Okay, remember our first target from 52K, right? When BTC was dumping right here, what we said, 40975 going to be what? Our primary first take profits, right? And guess what? Where we got rejected at right now? 40960. Okay, pretty close. So these numbers, guys, they basically repeating themselves. If you just pay attention to them, right? They're not going to be random. Okay, they're not random. Okay. So now we got to break out above the 41, and we got our 43 price resistance right here, right? And then after that, we potentially could be looking for the 46 if the volume is high enough. Okay, if the volume is not high enough, guys, and if the next 80,000 volume we're going to get potentially over the next like few days going to be some selling pressure, it means like, guys, we're going to lose everything. We're going to lose everything. Okay, we're going to lose everything. Okay. Double A on the weekly time frame. What about the weekly? Double A, triple A. Yeah, so 6 to 8 hour time frame, we got a good a good range of resistance we got to take out, right? Bulls got to take out. MACD, it is still looking good. RSI, it is still looking good. Nothing extremely bearish. On our 12-hour time frame, it looks pretty strong. Okay, as you can see right here, we got a strong rejection by the signal line right there. That's what I just tried to explain to you regarding the 21 EMA and the 100 EMA. So it doesn't matter on your MACD neither. If you get rejected by your signal line, okay, you're going to get a strong move to the upside or to the downside. But this one, we got a strong rejection by by our signal line, and we got the push to the upside, right? But let's see if we're going to get the negative crossover over the next like a few days. If we push to the upside, that's going to be great for the bulls. It means like we most likely going to be retesting the 43 resistance, right? Within the next like a few hours or even like a few days. The sell volume of the last few days has been pretty low right here. So now let's go ahead and take a look at a BTC PAX G BTC, okay? And we will take a look at the BTC dominance after that, because it is quite interesting how the BTC dominance is breaking out with BTC, right? It is amazing, okay? So, and if you guys recall what we said if the BTC dominance, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the BTC dominance very quickly. We will go back to it after, right? Remember what we said regarding the BTC dominance, right? We said we know the BTC dominance will be pushing to the upside. We got 80% probability, okay, of seeing the BTC dominance pushing to the upside. But the big question is, guys, will the BTC price action be pumping to the upside while the BTC dominance pumping to the upside? Okay, and most of you guys, if you've been in crypto long enough, you will remember what happened back in April 2019. Okay, April 2019, what happened? The BTC dominance was breaking out, right, to the upside. That was right here, right? Right there, right? The BTC dominance started to pump to the upside while the BTC price action pumping to the upside. And remember, the bull run started back then. Okay, and that was like back in March, April 2019. So if we're going to get the same type of a scenario, right, it means like, we could be in a bull run, meaning like BTC will pump, alt will suffer. They will suffer, in the short to a medium term, right? However, once the BTC dominance tap out, alt will basically take over. Do you see what I'm saying? So we will talk about it later on. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the BTC PAX G BTC, right? So right here, when we take a look at BTC PAX Gold BTC, or you want to call it, if you want to call it PAX G BTC, right? So what I was expecting is like, okay, if you recall our top formation right here back in May, June, July, right? It was a nice distribution top, and BTC got dumped all the way down to the support area right here, all the way down to like a 0.02, 0.025. And we just pumped to the upside, did not quite retest the absolute top, right around like 0.06. But I was saying like, even if we retest the area right here, BTC will be, the PAX G will be dumping, meaning like BTC will be pumping to the upside. Okay, so the move right here, it is a bullish pattern. So BTC is bullish, man. I don't see us breaking out below 30K, but who knows, right? So if you take a look at PAX G right there, in order for BTC to break out above 69, we got to break out below what? Below this range right here. And if you take a look at the entire range, right, it is what? A flat correction, meaning like double top, double bottom, dump to the downside. Okay, we got our double top right here. Didn't quite retest the top, right? But if we do not pump all the way up to 0.06, we could just call it what? A running flat, right? So meaning like we want basically a breakout above the A wave right here. Okay, so if you go back to BTC, if you recall our last analysis, one of our last analysis a couple of weeks ago regarding the Elliott wave macro analysis, right? We said we know BTC is what? Correcting. Okay, we could get a running flat, meaning like we just have to stay above 30K and push, and push to the upside, or we could get an expanded flat, but we don't know which one we will get. We just don't know. So that's what we're trying to figure out right now. So if we're going to get a running flat right here, it means like BTC right there, PAX-G BTC will not break out above like a 0.06. And right now it looks pretty juicy. If you take a look at it, okay, it looks pretty juicy. We could definitely continue to dump to the downside all the way down to like a 0.027, meaning like BTC could even pump all the way up to like 65, 69K. Okay, so remember guys, BTC been moving sideways for nearly over a year, since like a January 2021. So the type of bear market we got back in 2018, we might not get those type of bear market again, right? We might not, okay? But who knows? Okay, I'm not saying we won't, but we've been moving sideways long enough to just call it what, a big macro correction, and we're going to be looking for another impulsive wave. So if we don't break out above 0.06, we definitely could be looking for lower prices. Okay, we definitely could be looking for low prices, meaning like BTC will be looking for higher prices. Okay, so BTC will be looking for higher prices. Basically, that's just the inverse of BTC. Okay, PAX-G BTC, right? So now let's go back to the BTC dominance, and if you guys have any questions, right, put it in the chat room and all that good stuff. Okay, so the BTC dominance, guys. So if you guys recall, what we said back in September right here, we said the BTC dominance will be pumping. Okay, so we got that. We nailed it. Okay, we called it, guys. We called it. Right there, we said it's going to dump. Right there, we said it's going to pump. And we said we will retest the bottom. However, if we retest the bottom, we don't know. We don't know if BTC will dump or if BTC will pump. But we will wait and see what the Bitcoin price action will do. If the Bitcoin, if alt remains bearish against BTC, most likely what, the BTC dominance will go up. If BTC remains bearish, the BTC dominance will go up. You see what I'm saying? So but as of now, even though BTC been bearish over the last 60 days or even like 80 days, all right, it seems like sucker want to basically push to the upside. Okay, it want to it want to it still want to push to it still want to basically push to the upside, right? So let's see. Okay, let's see if we can break out above our resistance right here. If we break out above like a 50%, right, it means alt could be in big trouble over the next like a few weeks, just like what happened back in 2019 right here. Okay, just like what happened back in 2019. And if you take a look at it, guys, a similar price pattern right there, similar price pattern. That's 2018, 2019, right? And that's 2021 right here. Okay, so we definitely could break out to the upside with the BTC price action breaking out. It means like we will be in a bull run. Okay, no bear market. All right. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at some of your questions, right? If you have any question, make sure to put it in the chat room so I can take a look at it regarding alt and all that good stuff, right? So we got 30 watching. Make sure to hit the likes. If you haven't joined our public Telegram group, make sure to do so, right? So you can, if you're a bear, we got some 10K bear. You can, you can follow. You can follow the 10K bear waiting for 10K since like 10,000 BT. I mean 10,000 BC. I'm starting to like Luna. with the head and inverse head and shoulder right here, right there. So we got a nice inverse head and shoulder. One-to-one extension to the upside could take us all the way up to our weekly, not weekly, but 6 hour 100 EMA all the way up to 62, right? Within the next like a few days, okay? But it has to stay above 40, 45.9 in order to validate the reversal. If we break out below 45.9, bang, okay, bears will be all over the place, okay? So if we can stay above 45.9, it could basically take, bulls could basically be breaking out all the way up to 62 or even like up to 69, depending on the volatility, right? And how BTC will be performing and all that good stuff. The next one is going to be Atom. I've been pretty bearish on Atom recently, right? But given us a similar setup, I've been bearish on Atom since like 42, guys. Hit all targets, okay? Did not quite retest the 22 on average, but it hit like 25.5. Now it is bouncing back up, right? A pretty similar price, price behavior to Luna. The only difference is like Sucker basically just retested the bottom, and Luna did not retest the bottom and created an created a nice inverse and inverse head and shoulder. Okay, so let's see if Atom can basically retest the 35. It is going to be another resistance area right here, 35 to 37. Okay, but we'll take a look at it over the next like a few days and so on, right? A beautiful divergence. That's why I was kind of careful after we double bottom right here. Giorgio, let's take a look at Tezos. Tezos, I like Tezos on a higher time frame, right? I'm still bullish on Tezos, guys. I know it hasn't pumped like we want it yet, right? But it is still okay at 3.5 to 2.5. It is our macro support. That's the level I started buying in dollar, right? Even on versus BTC, right around like 7,000, 8,000 range. It is still above 8,000 versus BTC, right? So, macro support right here. We just have to respect the trend line, guys. 2.5, 3.5 range, a good level to accumulate. If we break out above our, macro trend line resistance right here, we know what we're looking for, guys. We got our extensions, right? 16, 24, $30, 45, 60, and 80. So it could take time to get there because we still need our basically MACD on the 3D, right, to flip positive. So and we still below our weekly 21 EMA and all that good stuff. So MACD, it is looking to flip positive, but it is not guaranteed it will. So I don't like the shape of it. But if we dump back down right here, we're still gonna get our support right around like 2.5, 2.7 area. Okay, versus BTC, that's what we need to watch, right? Because if we break out, we got a nice broadening wedge pattern, right? So if we break out below the support area right here, these guys love to dump 50% below support. So it is something like you got to be aware of, right? That way, when you see like Tezos dumping, you're gonna be like, okay, we knew if we break out below our support right here, we could dump as low as 50 or even like 60% versus BTC. So the next support on the downside, I'm anticipating, I'm okay as long as we can stay in this range versus BTC. I'm okay with Tezos, right? However, if we break out right here, I won't like it, and I will be looking for like 4,000 to 5,000 sats. All right, it is going to be painful. Remember, the BTC dominance could break out all the way up to like 50%, 60%. We don't know. If we repeat the same cycle we had back in back in April 2019, okay, not December but April 2019, it means like the BTC dominance could be breaking out all the way up to even like 60%. We don't know. We just speculate, right? So Tezos could lose some value versus BTC. It doesn't mean Tezos USD will dump, right? It depends how BTC will be breaking out. If BTC goes up like 4x, 5x, right? Right? If even if we dump like 50% versus BTC, we're still going to be above like $7, $8. You see what I'm saying? So something to basically keep in mind. So pay attention to Tesla's BTC. It is a it has a better chart than the Tesla's USD in terms of bullishness. Okay, so they basically inverse. All right, as you can see, we got a wedge pattern like that versus BTC. But if you take a look at Tesla's USD, Tesla's USD, right? We got what? This type of wedge. Okay, so basically they working in they're not basically moving in the same direction like most alt. Some of these alt, when they're very bullish, if they BTC down, if they BTC price, okay, they BTC price go pump to the upside, they tend to basically the USD price tend to pump to the upside at the same time, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at ICP. Who me? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Where you been at? Who me? Who me only shows up when BTC pump. So ICP, yeah, keep an eye on Atom, right? And Luna. We've been shorting them like shorting them hard, man. Like from from 84 all the way down to like sucker dump all the way down to like a 40 mid 40s, right? Nearly 50%, guys. That's what you get with Send Crypto, guys. You get like those big macro directional move, not like 5% move and all that good stuff. Where is Iceman? IceP, not Iceman. ICP. Let's take a look at ICP USDT because ICP BTC probably getting wrecked. So ICP. So we got a low sell volume right here on our way down. So we could definitely get this flat correction right here, right? We're testing the 36, right, to 37K area, 37K, $37. Okay, on the 3D. Let's take a look at it on the daily. On the 2D, we're looking very, very good, guys. Looking very, very, very good. So if we can basically keep the bullishness right here on our 2D basis, right? The bullish divergence. Sometimes it is hard because sometimes your MACD could get rejected and you're going to fall down. Okay, so that's why that's why you just have to be cautious till we regain control of the 21 EMA. So let's see if we can stay in this range. If we can stay above $18, 17 and a half, we didn't even basically break out below our 17 and a half support. Remember, we said the downside support is what 17 and a half, 19 to 16 on average, 17 and a half being the average, and we did not even break out below it. So if we can stay above 18 to 17 and a half, and MACD manages to basically flip bullish right here, we could be looking for the retest of 35, 36, 37 dollar range. Okay, so it is still going to be part of the structure. It doesn't mean like it will reverse, but it is going to be something we will keep an eye on if we retest like a 30 37, right? So big sell volume, big buy volume right here, low sell volume, right? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at RSR. So RSR, it is looking good at the July lows, right? Right there. So most alt did not break out below the July low. Remember, we talked about XRP when XRP was at $1, right? All right, what we said was like 50 cents to 55 cents going to be the July lows, primary support, and XRP it is still holding above 55, okay, above 55 cents, right? So it is at support right now. We just have to hold very strong right there. It is at the same time our yearly low last year, right? January 2021. So most alt retested also the January 2021. So it is not doing anything unusual, right? We just got to break out above the 0.05. So 0.05 going to be the macro resistance we got to break out, okay, in order to basically, in order to get a new macro trend. So let's take a look at it right here. So it did pump a lot since 2019. So we know, your resistance, right, all the way up to 0.05, 0.07. Next support going to be all the way down to like a 0.0126 range. All right. So weekly MACD, it is still negative, so no sign of reversal yet, right? But you could still get some short-term pumps and all that good stuff. But just keep an eye on a 0.012. If we break down, right? If we break out, that's going to be a resistance right here, 0.05 up to a 0.057. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at DOT. So DOT right here, let's take a look at it right here. So we got a 2D potential bullish divergence, right? Not 3D, right? Not 3D, but it is better than nothing. Okay, if we basically can take out the 21 EMA on our 2D basis all the way up to 23, that could start a potential bullish reversal, because we could get our 3D MACD to flip positive after that. Okay, so pushing all the way up to 23 could give us a bullish reversal. Okay, we got to take out the 21 EMA. As you can see right here, resistance, resistance, resistance right there. So it is going to act as resistance if we break out up to a 23. So we got another basically 10 to 15% pump in order to get to our previous support, right? Slash 2D 21 EMA. Okay, so got to hold right here, because most alt already retested the July lows, right? Remember, but this guy, it is still above its July low, so got to hold above like a $16, or even like a $15. Otherwise, we could be dumping all the way down to $10, which is going to be a good level to reaccumulate if we retest it, right? Remember, BTC, right? It is creating what? A flat correction. So DOT could follow if it loses like a $15 range. Okay, I don't think we will break out like below $10 that easy. Okay, I'm not saying we will get there, but if we get there, it is going to be a good level to reaccumulate, right? But in the short term, just stay with the with the trend, since like we're building a nice bullish divergence on our 2D basis. Okay. Mr. BU, thanks a lot for tuning in. So let's go back to BTC, guys. Let's go back to BTC, because BTC, it is looking pretty interesting. So hourly time frame doesn't look bad. Consolidating, I don't see anything crazy, no sort of divergence, nothing. Okay, it is just hanging tight. So if we stay in this range, right, for the next like a few hours, it is likely to create some sort of divergences. Okay, either on our side right there, right, or we could get one on our MACD, something like that. Right, so but as of now, no sort of divergence, anything. Okay, so if you take a look at it right here, we did have a divergence. I called it, right? I said we're most likely going to be breaking out, right? and we broke out to the downside, created another wedge pattern right here, slash bullish divergence right there on our hourly basis, and push, and got the pump to the upside. So let's see if within the next like a few hours we will create a bearish divergence right there. Okay, and if we do, it doesn't necessarily mean it will dump, but we still got our 21 EMA we got to take care of, right? So basically on the hourly up to the 6 hour time frame, the lower degree bulls are in control. So you just have to respect these supports. 21 EMA, if you're scalping, 21 EMA going to be a good level to accumulate some longs for every test of the top at least. Okay, you don't know what type of structure you're going to get. You could get a flat right there and a push to the upside, right? You could get a wedge pattern, something like that, right? A push to the upside. You could get a triangular formation, right? You don't know, okay? You don't know what you're going to get in this range. So you just have to be very, very cautious because none of your indicators, right, are pointing a dump on the hourly basis. So they're all pointing up. So you just have to be very, very cautious and be patient for the next like a 15 to 20 hours probably before the next like a, potential move and all that good stuff. Hey, what's up, Mr. Bistut? Thanks a lot for tuning in. All right. All right, guys. If you guys don't have any other question regarding any other art, let's go ahead and take a look at ICX for Mr. Shu. So ICX, it is still holding the low mid 60s, right? Before even we dump, remember before the last dump, okay, ICX pump all the way up nearly like to $2, and I was like, okay, guys, we will be retesting the July lows right here. So ICX dumped 50% after that. Okay, yeah, in my premium I said it like look for the 60, right, up to a 65, 67 range, or the July lows right there. So a beautiful pattern in terms of Elliott wave. We do have a nice double top, double bottom right here. Okay, a nice, potential running. If we dump lower, it could be expanded, right? If we retest like a 36 or 35, whatever, right? It is not guaranteed it will, because if BTC going to push higher and not retesting 33, 34 and all that good stuff, most likely ICX will be pumping to the upside, okay, with BTC. Okay, the ICX BTC could suffer in the short term depending on how strong BTC will break out. But if you're paying attention to ICX, 1400 sats going to be your next buy target. Not financial advice. I talk about it when ICX was right around like 5,000. Okay, like if we get rejected right here, look for 2,000 and 1,400 sats, and that's it. Go to sleep after that, right? And wait for what? Wait for 9,000 to 10,000. Okay, within the next like a few weeks or even like a few months. It could take a while, guys. It could take a while. As long as the BTC dominance is going to remain strong, some of these alt will not break out. Okay, they won't break out against BTC. All right. All right, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a day, right? So be safe out there. Everything looks good in the short to medium term, but we still need our 3D MACD to flip bullish, and we need our 6 hour time frame. Okay, all the indicators got to cross positive, right? So let's take a look at the 3D. Just recap of what we said. If you just join the live stream, right? On our 3D basis, guys, we know exactly what we're looking for. It got to basically flip bullish. Remember, your MACD right here doesn't give you tops. It doesn't give you tops and bottom. It only gives you what? Direction. So if let's say we're looking for like when BTC was like right around like 55, 60K area, when we said we could be dumping down to 35, 37K, it was a directional move. It didn't have anything to do with the MACD bottoming. The MACD is just saying like the direction is down. So it is up to you to find the support. Okay, so the MACD can tell you, hey, we're going up, but it doesn't tell you like how high you're gonna go. The MACD can tell you, right? Can tell you we're going to dump, but it is not going to tell you how low we're going to dump. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying, weekly 100 EMA, monthly 21 EMA going to be our support. And after we hit support, we just have to suck it up and wait for the MACD to basically flip bullish. Remember, as long as we do not break out below 33, most likely MACD going to flip bullish. But remember, your MACD is not going to tell you, hey, buy at 33 or 35 or 30, 37 or even 50K. It doesn't care. It just moves around, right? So that's what we're looking for on the 3D. We got our macro support, but we're not getting a directional reversal pattern yet, reversal call yet. Okay. So on a weekly basis, we're still looking good, right? Still above our weekly 100 EMA, right? So weekly looks good. 6 hour time frame, it doesn't look bad. It is looking pretty good with a 12% of our weekly volume on Coinbase. Looks pretty juicy, right? So what we need to see is like we got to get all our moving averages, right, to cross positive right here, because we already got our 2D basis, right? Right here, a bullish MACD right here. So we just got to get our our 6 hour time frame, right? All these moving averages, 21, 50, and 100, right? They got to flip bullish, and we could be, we could start to say goodbye to our loved ones because we're going to the moon, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. So Shiba. Let's see if I can find Shiba. So Shiba, it is just following the rest of the market, right? A nice bottom formation. We're still below our 21 EMA right here. So got to take out the 21 EMA on on the weekly basis, right? On the 3D, doesn't look bad, but we're still negative. So no sign of reversal yet. Okay, we just hit like 50% pullback right around like 1800, right? So next support going to be like 1200 range. All right, and after that you could be looking for some bullish reversal and all that good stuff. But as of now, the trend, it is still down on the weekly and 3D. Once again, it doesn't mean like you're not going to get a pop, but it might not be a reversal pop. It might be something like to take some profits or something like that, not a moonshot, going to the moon and all that good stuff. Okay, but 6 hour looks pretty good, just like the rest of the crypto. If we can break out right here, right, we could be looking for your previous support going to act as resistance all the way up to like a 2600 range, and right now we're at 2100, right? So a nice 20% pump if we break out above 2200, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.